Welcome to No Stats, what we call it, how we see it.
Back again with another one.
We back again, good brother. And before we jump into this NFL Week 7 recap, crazy week. But before we give y'all our analysis and our breakdown of the week, and a couple early, peaks and picks in the Week 8, make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe, ring that bell so y'all stay locked in. Me and Peach been, coming back. We getting back into it. I told y'all Peach had tummy tuck operation, so we was out, but we back. Lock in. Ring that bell. Ring that bell and NBA on the way back, so y'all gonna want to stay locked in. Love is love, baby.
Bread and butter, baby.
Watch the handle, it takes skill. We gotta run it back. We in the field, and you said it Jason. You in your field, we looking for the facts. Let's keep it real, yeah, we talking no stats. Yeah, we talking no stats. Yeah, we talking no stats.
I was gonna say you got your appendix removed, but I'm gonna let it ride. Good brother,
right,
what
bro.
you got for me today, man?
Week 7 just wrapped up. We had some real interesting games, some fun games, some surprising games. But I want to start with the game of the week, right? One that was highly anticipated. You had the 5-1 Detroit Lions riding high. Mm-hmm. I had a few power rankings, a few top fives that I seen the Lions as the number one team in the NFL. You had a Ravens team who was at home, who suffered some losses in the season, but they could have been wins, right? They had some drop passes, some issues, some turnovers that they needed to correct. Lamar was playing well. But this was a 1 o'clock game that I went back and forth on the week, bro. I liked the Lions early, but then I had to get out of my biasness because I just wanted the Ravens to lose because they're in our division. But I'm like,
a little Bengal bias right there, BD.
Yeah. But the more I looked at the game, I just thought the Ravens were going to be the better team. I thought Harbaugh is the better coach. I thought at home, I didn't even know until after the game that Lamar Jackson's now 16-1 against the NFC. And I think a lot of the hype for the Lions are a good team, right? But you're playing a Hall of Fame coach, possibly MVP, a good defense on the road. I thought that was a tall task for the Lions. Now, I didn't think it would be 38-6, and the Lions would get pummeled like that. But
they look,
what was your thoughts
good,
on the game, bro?
I was more in awe of Lamar. I felt like Lamar was real balanced yesterday on his playmaking, on the ground, through the air. It felt like, he was kind of like untouched yesterday on what he was getting. He was doing what he was wanting. He was spreading the ball out. Like Mark Andrews had touches. Odell Beckham Jr. looked all right. I mean, he owed me a yard yesterday. We ain't gonna get into that. They looked real good. And then coming off that loss to the Steelers last week, I think the Ravens kind of came into this game real focused, playing a little bit with that chip on their shoulder, and it just showed that I kind of compare the Lions a little bit to the Dolphins. Just that reality. They had a reality check game. You know what I mean? Like, you guys have, you've made noise. You look good this year, but are you really ready to, cross over to be one of those teams that everyone take? Yeah, the big dogs, bro. Like, so that's what I took from it. Lamar's excellent play yesterday.
He is, bro, and I agree with you about Lamar and how phenomenal he looked. But I'm gonna take a different route. I thought the coaching, the game plan that the Ravens had on offense and defense is what won them that game. The Lions were putting up points on teams, right? High-flying offense, Jared Goff. They were talking about him playing as maybe the best quarterback in the NFC so far. I know they had David Montgomery out, but it was a lot spoke about this Lions offense, and they put up 6 points. And I think that was like a measly 6 points because for a while they couldn't get no points on the board. And I think that's hats off.
A damn ball.
Seriously, bro. And I think that's hats off to Baltimore's game plan. It's like they knew everything the Lions wanted to do. They took away everything. They put Goff under duress all game, and made it hard on them. And then on the offensive side, it's like they knew everything that they was going to do defensively and had an answer for it. I think that's a brilliant game plan. Hats off to Baltimore, but I don't want to give them too much props because they is in our division. But they look good. They
did look good, man. I want to throw a game out there real quick. The Steelers and the Rams game, which I felt like a lot of people was on the other side of this one, including both of us, siding with the Rams. But the Steelers get back-to-back wins this week. knocking off the Ravens last week and then coming in here and knocking off this Rams team. What are your thoughts on them, bro? Like, are they able, if they're able to like get the balls to their playmakers, could this team continue this, minimal success?
Well, first off, that quarterback sneak wasn't a first down. I don't know how they get that. I don't know how they gave Pittsburgh that first down. But then on the other end, they got the win, and I just think nobody wins more football games than Mike Tomlin, like ugly football games than Mike Tomlin, bro. I don't know what it is, bro. The Steelers just find ways to win. Defensively, they have the players, right? They got T.J. Watt, who may be, arguably the best edge rusher in the league. They got Minka Fitzpatrick. They got some boys. Pat Peterson and Joey Porter Jr. They got some guys on the defensive end, Alex Highsmith, Cameron Hayward. So they got talent, right? And they got talent on the offensive end too. But the way they win these games, bro, I don't understand. It's always a close, tough-knit football game, and they always come out on top. And again, I know I'm beating a dead horse, keep talking about coaching, but I feel like it's all coaching. I feel like Mike Tomlin is going to put them boys in the right spot. Matt Canada, who people have been calling for his jobs, he made some plays. Again, this is a Rams defense that really has taken a big jump backwards since winning that Super Bowl. So it wasn't like a stout defense, but game planning, bro. Game planning throughout the week. When you find the team tendencies, what can we do that'll work? Putting Kenny Pickett in the best positions possible. Stopping them. T.J. Watt grabbing that interception was huge. I just think they have big players that make big plays. They believe in Mike Tomlin, and they just win ugly football games, man. Another AFC North team that I didn't want to win yesterday that ended up winning.
0 for 2 on that one, man. The Steeler way, man, as a Steeler fan would say. That Steeler way, that Steeler culture, man. It's embedded in
Pisses
them,
me
man.
off.
They bleed yellow.
Pisses me off. I'm gonna jump to last night, and talk about the other matchup of the week. This Eagles Dolphins game. We did a NFL recap. Right, and we're just making up, some of the weeks that we missed. And I told our viewers and you to beware of these Dolphins, bro. It's fireworks. Look past your nose, right? When I laid it out in record-wise, the teams that they've beaten, the 5-24 records, and then when they played a team who honestly doesn't even look all of that good now, right? When we look at the Bills these last 2 weeks, but when they played the Bills on the road, 48-20. So now the Dolphins have played 2 playoff teams from last year, and if I'm not mistaken, they're outscored 37-79. Right? We're used to the Dolphins doing that, but I think these another thing, like you said with the Lions, bro, you got to play these big dogs, and you got to go into their houses and things like that. And I said this earlier in the year. I know a lot of people like the Dolphins to go to the Super Bowl. Mike McDaniel's offensive genius. Tyreek Hill is the most dangerous player in the NFL. But they need that 1 seed. The Dolphins need that 1 seed, man, because you don't want to travel to Kansas City. I'm still going to say to Buffalo, to Cincinnati, to Baltimore in the winter in January and try to do all of those plays. It's going to be tough. So the game went the way I expected. We was talking off air. And I was saying how recency bias is such a prominent thing in the sports world. Everybody was down on the Eagles last week, right? And everybody was high on the Dolphins. Like, let's relax. The Eagles are at home. Let's figure this out. I knew they would win that game. I don't know how it would look, but I like the Eagles a lot. I think they handle business, but I'm still not super, super high on the Eagles, right? I like to stay even kill. I'm not super, super high on the Eagles. I think they beat a team who they were supposed to beat, not taking nothing away from them, but a team that I didn't have ranked really highly as a, dominant force anyway. Not that dominant of a force. I always thought the Eagles were a better team.
I think the Eagles are like, and it's surprising because they're 6-1 and they haven't been playing their best football yet. And I think when they get rolling, this is just like a plus now. And then when you look at the Dolphins yesterday, I think they was missing who's their backup running back that's been playing phenomenal.
Yeah, David A-Chain.
They were missing him yesterday.
They were also missing Xavier Howard, their number 1 cornerback.
And I thought Jalen Ramsey was going to be back. I seen reports of him like practicing and stuff like that, but
yeah.
Just a reality check, bro. Same thing with the Lions. They need to, figure out, this thing now and it's good to get punched in the mouth early by a team like the Eagles. Just shows where they're at. So it's going to be interesting to see how Mike McDaniels and this Dolphin team readjust.
Agreed, bro. Because when adversity hits, this when you find out who the teams really are, right? Like I think Miami got the Patriots next week at home. So they should be able to handle that game. But the next big game you play, we're going to see how you prepare and how you bounce back under those lights. So I'm gonna keep an eye out for the Dolphins and the Eagles moving on because they have two of the toughest schedules remaining. So let's see how they continue on throughout this path. A few other games I wanted to touch on quickly, bro. I want to talk about this Bills-Patriots game. I know we scheduled it quickly.
I was hoping you said them next, bro. I was hoping.
Go ahead. You started off then. You start us off.
Because I was gonna say you've been spot on. I mean, outside of my Bucks looking like they're gonna steamroll this fucking division, but we'll get to that later. But you said two things with the Dolphins, and you also said a lot throughout the offseason about this Bills team and their big play style, their the glamour, the lights. But is this really a ball club that can really win a Super Bowl? And I feel like we've been seeing that these past, every game. I mean, aside from that mauling they did of the Dolphins, this Bills team hasn't really looked like the Bills team like that looked like Super Bowl, poised for Super Bowl stardom. So it's like, look at the mistakes by Josh Allen. The run defense is fucking atrocious, and it's like every game that you think we're gonna see that the usual Buffalo. Oh man, this team is struggling to score points in the first half, man.
Yeah, bro. Yes, bro. And I think a lot of this, I don't want to say, I said this during the offseason too. The window isn't closing for Josh Allen, right? But the way the team is built right now is going to need to change a little bit. I think outside of Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen, I don't think the offense has that many key players. And I think they rely on that too much. I think coaching is a big issue here, right? And I said this during the offseason as well. The Bills' biggest game and best game since they've been together, right, with this team, with Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen, was a loss to the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs. When the NFL decided to change the rules and now you got a chance to score. All of that was in favor of the Bills, bro. They were the favorites to win the Super Bowl the next year. Like, everybody got ahead of themselves, right?
For people that don't know, Seth did not like that rule change. You see the energy. Bro. You see the energy come out a little bit.
They showed this one up.
That's in the play-in tournament basket.
For sure, bro. You don't change the rules, but it is what it is. They did that and they still weren't able to do anything. Josh Allen's a phenomenal talent, but it needs to be coached right. I'll say this about the Chargers. Same way with the Chargers, right? Bills are in a better position than the Chargers, but Justin Herbert is a hell of a talent-wise. He's a top 5 quarterback in the league, and they're 2-4, 2-5. In danger of their season being over. I don't know, bro. Coaching matters. That's why Lamar is succeeding, right, with Harbaugh. That's why Jalen Hurts is succeeding. Nick Sirianni's a good coach. We ain't gonna even got to talk about Mahomes and Andy Reid. You got to pair that quarterback with that coach, and they got to put him in the right situations to win, and then rely on the ad-lib when they need to, and things like that. So we're going to see what happens with the Bills. I do think I think their schedule starts to get a little more favorable. I know they have the Buccaneers on Thursday Night Football. That'll be a win for the Bills. We can bet some money on that if you want.
I don't know about that one. The Bills is lose to a sub 500 team and then look like fucking monsters the next. I might pass on that.
Yep.
But the Bucks look fucking phenomenal.
They do, but they just lost to the Falcons at home.
It's all good.
Desmond Ridder. They're going to come back down.
Desmond did look good. You think so?
I think so.
I think this
they've already overachieved.
I think the Saints is going to slide. The Panthers, I think they have yet to win a game.
Panthers, yeah. And I think that changes.
Win a game.
I think that changes. Before we talk about next week, I'm going to give you 3 games that I'm interested in next week. But I wanted to touch on 2 more games. I got to give this one game a shout out. First one,
what you got for me?
Is that Chiefs and Chargers game. Kelsey looked phenomenal, but I didn't want to talk about the Chiefs because they did what I expected. I wanted to just go in depth about the Chargers a little more, bro, because they just look bad. They look really bad, bro. The Chargers can't win close games.
But what is, in a detailed form, what is it specifically? Like, is it this Mike Williams injury? Or was these woes happening prior to him getting injured?
Bro, it's been
Because I think the offense has the pieces to be an above 500 fucking team.
And the defense, bro. You got Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa on the ends. You got Derwin James. You got some names on that defense. Guys, Asante Samuel Jr., you have talent. They have talent at key pieces. Rashawn Slater, who they drafted on the offensive line, right? They built that offensive line up. Justin Herbert, like I said, he's the top 5 talent at quarterback. They get Austin Eckler back. Joshua Kelly had a big run yesterday. You got Keenan Allen. You drafted Quentin Johnston. You got Gerald Everett.
Joshua Palmer.
You got Joshua Palmer. You got guys that can make the plays, bro. And I'm sounding like I'm beating the drum too much, bro. But it's just coaching. It's game planning, bro. It's game planning. Putting your players. On top of that, it's hard to game plan against the Chiefs, right? But it's just about making the right plays, not turning the ball over, putting your players in the right position to score. I'm surprised Brandon Staley hasn't been fired yet. I don't know. Actually, I used to say this about Marvin Lewis as a Bengals fan when he was there for all these years, and it was just years of just mediocrity, making the playoffs and losing in the first round every year. And I used to be like, yo, how isn't he fired? He has to have naked pictures of the owner's wife. He used that. It has to be something, bro. Like, how are you still holding on to your job?
Yeah.
And that's just how I feel about the Chargers right now. I want to see more from Justin Herbert because I think he's a beast, and I think with the right coach, this league would be scared of Justin Herbert.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. I think they gotta capitalize now, because everything in this sports world is about windows, man.
Absolutely.
With the roster that we was just talking about, with the roster that they got intact, it doesn't make no sense on why they shouldn't be winning games. So,
agreed. The good thing is for sure. The good thing is their superstar quarterback is 23, 24, right? But you don't want to waste these years, right? Because he's gonna get paid next year. I think that contract is set in, and then he's only gonna get paid more. Justin Herbert is elite, so you want to make sure you get those pieces around him to try to get some Super Bowls. All right, on his Super Bowl rings on his hand. Last one I want to touch about briefly. What is his name? Tyson Bagent for the Bears. Do you know his story, bro?
I didn't know his story, bro. I seen his name and I kept scrolling immediately because it was unrecognizable. But inform me, bro, please.
D2 quarterback. He won the Heisman, or like the Heisman in Division II football at Shepherd College. I believe his last game was against Colorado State of the Mines. Or of Mines. Like this is the competition he's playing against. Gets drafted, beats out, who was the backup quarterback?
Gets drafted to the NFL from there?
I don't know if he was drafted or if he was a undrafted free agent. But makes the team. Either way, right? Makes the team, beats out I'm drawing a blank on who he beat out, but gets the second quarterback spot. The Bears have lost 10 games straight at home. He comes in and he goes and gets a win and does it looking like he's supposed to be there, bro. It was just
he looked good. I didn't see him yesterday.
Yeah, bro. They put up 30 points. Like they put up 30 points. He didn't. It wasn't too many highs, too many lows. 21 for 29, 162 yards and a touchdown. He had like 24 yards on the ground, but didn't do nothing too spectacular. It was all even kill. I heard, and I'm a give props to Colin Cowherd, but he said with Justin Fields, it's a lot of wow, that was amazing, and then wow, that's disappointing. It's too much of that, too much inconsistency. When Tyson Badgett was in there, and like they just played a football game and stayed even kill the whole game. And I just wanted to give him some credit because he came in there and got that win for the Bears, albeit against the Raiders' backup quarterback, but looked nice.
We've been seeing that a lot this year. I mean, you've seen it with Joshua Dobbs in the beginning of the season with the Cardinals. But those guys that just come out of nowhere and, kind of, I'm not going to say cement themselves because I know once Justin Fields get back, he'll be the starter. But it's good to see, man. It's good for football.
Absolutely, bro. And it lets you know that sometimes, just because a player go D2 or something like that, they still can hang with them big boys.
That's what I wanted to ask you, bro. So I thought the NFL draft was just specifically Division I players. Now, if I'm a Division II, Division III guy, I can go to these combines and put my name in the draft. Wow.
Absolutely, bro.
I didn't know that.
Absolutely. Few games next week I want to talk about. Just a few, not too many. One being this Panthers Texans game. I know the Texans are coming off a bye. I know this is a doozer to start with, but the reason I bring it up is because I think the Panthers get their first win next week. Panthers at home, Ring of Honor game. I believe they're retiring Julius.
Let me write that down. The Madden God.
I believe they're retiring Julius Peppers. I'm not retiring his jersey, but he's getting inducted into the Ring of Honor game. I like the Panthers a lot at home. They get their first win. I think the Texans have been looking really good. But I think that'll be a tough game. You might have to sweat that one out, but I can see that one being like 21-19. Panthers. Another one that I like, and I'm kind of crossing my fingers for, this Seahawks-Browns game. Right, the Browns got a crazy win. Literally, the AFC North went 3-0 while the Bengals were on a bye. I was hoping everybody lost. We kind of win on a bye week, you know what I mean, if everybody lose, but didn't go that way. But Seahawks, Browns, the Browns been pulling out these last couple games with P.J. Walker at quarterback. When Deshaun Watson was in, bro, they looked horrible. He was throwing picks. And it's to the point now where I'm getting
still
superstitious.
Trying to settle in, making me look fucking crazy.
Yeah, bro.
Because I was talking heavy in the offseason.
Bro, it's to the point now where I'm getting superstitious. Like, if P.J. Walker plays, I like the Browns. If Deshaun Watson plays, I like the other team. But the Seattle team, right, they've been looking good all year. They beat the Lions. They played a tough game with the Bengals. They're coming off a win against Arizona. They're home against the Browns. Seattle's good against the run. I think they'll try to minimize that run. This could be a low-scoring game. I'm leaning with Seattle at home. Not just for the Bengals, but I think Seattle's a better team. Now, the offensive line is going to have to hold up because Myles Garrett is ridiculous, bro. Bro, I seen this stat. He had two sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and a block punt, and he was like the first player to do that since like 1991. In the game, bro, like Myles Garrett, what he did to the 49ers offensive line, right? Like, this is Trent Williams, like future Hall of Famer, first ballot, throwing him on the ground. He's at the defensive line, bro. Myles Garrett is lining up across from opposing tackles and acting like he's dribbling before the ball hikes, and then he's toying with dudes, bro. Have you not seen those clips?
I didn't know that. The basketball clips, because you know he be cramping shit.
Bro, he's at the line
crazy.
before the ball starts. Before the ball is hiked. He's at the line, just going like this, not even in a stance. And then as soon as the ball hiked, he get in there, sack, force fumble. Bro, it's ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous what he's doing, bro. He's a monster. So as long as they can chip him, do everything to keep him out the game, I like Seattle. And then this last one, I'm not going to spend too much time on, although I would like to. Bengals going to San Fran. Deebo Samuel will not play this game. He's out for 2 weeks.
This Sunday night game?
This is 4:25 game next week.
Okay.
In San Fran. No Deebo. McCaffrey's banged up, but I think he's going to play tonight against the Vikings. And then Trent Williams, their left tackle who I was just talking about, is doubtful for tonight. Don't know if he'll be back next week. The reason I like the Bengals, all bias aside, I think the Bengals getting to 3-3 was a huge task in itself with Joe Burrow, re-aggravating that calf injury in week 2 against the Ravens. I think he's looked well. We've seen progression from him moving around in the pocket and things of that nature. The bye week was huge. Bye week come at like a perfect time. T. Higgins had that rib injury. I think he has a big game and bounce back. So you get guys to get healthy. You get 2 weeks to plan for the 49ers. The 49ers have a short week on the other end. They have to play tonight. Right, so instead of having the whole week to plan, you can't even plan Monday because you're planning for the Vikings. So you got a team coming off a long week of rest, team coming off a short week of rest. I think Joe Burrow's health is going to be phenomenal, and I think no Deebo Samuel. Some injuries might play a toll. We'll see if Trent Williams is ready to go. Big game from T. Higgins. I like the Bengals with the upset on the road. Call me crazy, call me a biased fan. we'll talk about this next week, and y'all can be like, dang, you was right. But that's my 3 games I got my eye out on.
The stars align for that, bro. Like you said, the rest, I felt like you guys built up a lot of momentum prior to the bye week as well. Getting rhythm. Same thing I was saying about the Eagles. Like, y'all best football. Y'all have yet to play y'all best football. So, man, pressure bust pipes, man.
Time to apply it now.